where are you from, and what is your role at LPS?
Okay. My name's Amy Davis. I'm originally from Syracuse, New York. But my role here at Learning Prep is that I am the principal of the middle school and the high school. So at Learning Prep we have grades 5 through 12. This is my 25th year at Learning Prep. And when I started 25 years ago, I started at Learning Prep as a counselor, and now I'm the principal of the whole school.
What inspired you to work at a school for special education?
Oh, it's such a good question. It's funny, when I was younger, I always knew that I wanted to be a therapist, and that I went to school, I went to college to be a therapist, but while I was in college, so my major was in psychology. While I was in college, I decided to do a minor in special ed, and I just loved it. I loved working with the kids. It just was so rewarding to be able to, really work with students, in my mind, who really needed the most support. And so that's what was so amazing for me 25 years ago when I got this job as a counselor, is that I was combining both of my loves, my love of being a therapist or a counselor with working with a population, with a special ed student population. And then, how I kind of landed as the principal is that I just really fell in love with this school. There's just something amazing about this school. Students who come here get what they need to be successful. And we really can watch students come to us who are really broken, and then learn to trust being a learner and really grow so much. So it's been so rewarding to really be a part of this school. So it was really a very easy decision when they asked me if I wanted to leave being a therapist and move on to being a principal. It was I didn't have to think long on that. Such great students, such great families, but really to me one of the most amazing things is the teachers are dedicated and they love being here, and it's a pretty special school.
And so what do you do in those therapy sessions with the students?
Yeah, so at Learning Prep, every student has a counselor, and that person is really the point person for the student, the point person for the parents or guardians, and the point person for the teaching staff. And they get to meet once a week and really talk about anything that's on students' minds, whether it's related to like making friends or schoolwork or homework or problem solving, different things, misunderstandings. So every counseling or therapy session is probably different from week to week and different from kid to kid. But for a lot of students, it's just a safe place for them to be able to talk about things that are on their mind and learn new skills, coping skills, friendship making skills.
What type of support does LPS provide?
A lot of support. So most of our students, we talk about how the students at Learning Prep are at Learning Prep because their brains learn in a different way. And all of the teachers at Learning Prep know how to teach in that different way. So students at Learning Prep really get a lot of reading support. And they have all sort of the core academic classes. So like 2 reading classes a day, a math class, a history class, a science class. But then there's a lot of additional classes that happen here. So we talked about students have counseling once a week. We have health and student issues class, which happens either once a week or twice a week, that every student has. And that's a class that's taught by a counselor that really focuses a lot on, we do all, like normal health class stuff, exercise and nutrition and all those things, but it really does function a lot like a social group. So it's helping kids to really understand, how they may present to others and how to interact with others. Other classes that students can have at Learning Prep are, some students have speech and language therapy classes. occupational therapy classes or work center where we help students to work on like executive functioning, which is like a fancy word for like planning and being organized, and they'll do like jobs around the school. So a fun new job that the work study students are doing, students who are in work center are doing is a coffee delivery business. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, teachers can place their orders, and the students in the first period of class, they get all the orders and they have to like make the coffee. If Susan is somebody who wants like cream in her coffee or sugars, they have to like do all the orders and then they deliver them. So there's different jobs that those students will do, and it really helps them to plan out like, okay, who's going to do what? You're going to do this part of the job. So it's a lot of cooperative learning. Speech, OT, counseling, health. In our high school, we've got like consumer skills class. We've got some financial literacy classes. And then elective classes that we have at Learning Prep are art, technology and design, PE. Every student has PE. In our high school, some students can have food service as a class, and Learning Prep has an on-site daycare for the staff that students can have that as a class as well. So
Sounds fun.
yeah, it is fun.
The coffee one sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, teachers are loving it to have coffee delivered on Mondays and Wednesday mornings. It's pretty awesome.
What is the mission statement for LPS?
Yeah, so I don't have it memorized. We have like fancy, it's all in, fancy words, but really the message and the breakdown of it is that, we want to help students be prepared for life. So a lot of times what that looks like is supporting them in learning all of the academics that they need to learn, reading, writing, math, all that stuff. But also, life isn't just about reading and writing and science and math. It's about learning how to work with other people and learning how to do things like be able to live on your own and, do your taxes and lots of things that you just don't think about that you need to learn that are, besides reading and writing.
So I remember my senior year of high school, we had enrichment periods. What are the benefits of having that?
All right, so enrichment for us, there's a lot of benefits, some that you wouldn't even think of. So for our students who come, our day starts at 7:40 and it ends at 2:20. Their brains are working hard all day long, on, learning. And so our enrichment class is our third period class. So students have classes, first period, second period, and then third period is that enrichment block. And for a lot of our kids, it's a nice brain break. We offer different enrichment groups. We have an interactive video games group now. We have an anime group now. There's a, color and chat group, a walk and talk group, a calming group, tons of different groups that kids can be in. And it really is a time for kids to be able to have a brain break from academics, but it's not that they're not learning. They are in color and chat, they're learning how to navigate back and forth questions and how was your weekend and what did you do? And that's something that's really hard for some of our students. Really, there's a current events group, they're going, so it's different kinds of learning. But it's also a time when students can have snack, so they go down to the cafeteria and they can get something to eat because our day starts pretty early, so some kids, want a second breakfast. So there's a lot of benefits to those groups, even though they sound like just fun. There is still learning that's going on.
So I remember I had consumer skills as a class. Can you tell me what are the benefits of that class and what kind of lectures does the teacher give?
Yeah, so there's a ton of learning that goes into the class. So they have it, our high school students have it all 4 years, and Abby teaches the class, and they're doing all sorts of things from learning about taxes to talking about a budget and what is a debit card and what is a credit card and what is the difference. Talking about like how to buy a car and car loans and interest and what does that look like. It's a lot of real life learning about how to be prepared, for some of those things that you typically don't learn in a class. You're not going to learn that in a reading class or a science class. So it's a lot of things that you just don't even think about. Some of it's, cooking, and they do a cooking unit and how to cook just basic things and how to make sure that you're, taking care of the things that you need to take care of in terms of like making sure you've got yearly doctor's appointments and like just talking about all those things that you kind of need to know to be an adult.
What are the benefits for the work study program?
Yeah, so it used to be called the Work Study Program. It's now called the Experiential Learning Program, ELP for short. And that is really exactly what it is. It really is learning by doing. Our seniors have 1 week where they are in school and doing academic classes, and then the other week they do the ELP program where they are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are going to a job site, and then Thursday and Friday they're doing those fun field trips. So some of the job sites that we have going on now are some students are at Newton Wellesley Hospital, doing various different tasks there in the mailroom, or kind of packaging different medical supplies. We've got students at Babson College working in the dining hall. We've got students at Dana Hall. They have an equestrian program there, so we've got some students who are, when it was nicer, not now, nicer weather, kind of working with the equestrian program. Another one is Boston College. We have a lot of students working at Boston College. In years past, we've had some students who were at the State House doing internships. So really, it's an opportunity for students to be able to get a lot of real life experience in a job. And it may not be the job that they want for their life after high school, but in going to that job, they're learning sort of the soft skills of like how to navigate, working with other people, and really kind of what's involved with being a good worker, being on time, letting people know if you need help, letting people know if you need time off, like all of those kind of skills that you need to know how to do to be able to have jobs. And then on those like field trip days, like tomorrow, Thursday and Fridays are field trip days. Tomorrow one of the groups is going and doing, taking the commuter rail and doing some MBTA sort of travel training, learning how to navigate the T. I think they're going downtown, they might get lunch, just to be able to like, learn, kind of what that system is all about and being able to navigate that, because that can be pretty complicated.
And the last question is, do you have any memorable moments of working at LPS?
So many, but I think the thing I'm most proud of over the 25 years I've been here is that I have run 7 marathons for Learning Prep. So I've run the marathons, but I've raised money for Learning Prep as a charitable organization. And in running those 7 marathons and raising money, I've raised over $100,000 for Learning Prep. So that's probably the thing I'm most proud of. And then memorable moments. For some of those marathons, we would do very fun kind of donation giving events. So one time, a former principal, Jen Thorell, and I dressed up in a hamburger, I dressed up in a hamburger costume, and she dressed up in a hot dog costume, and we held buckets, and for every donation that was given to the marathon, we let kids squirt ketchup and mustard into the buckets. And you can imagine that some ended up in the buckets, but most of it ended up on Jen and I. So we did an assembly. It was very funny. So Learning Prep has a website. It's www.learningprep.org. We have lots of students and families who are always checking out our school, so our admissions department now will run regular information sessions for people to join in on. So there is an admissions tab on our website that you can check out, but there's a lot of information about all of what Learning Prep has to offer on our website.
Well, thank you for your time in this interview.
Thank you for choosing me. I feel very honored.
You're welcome.